channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking all things car. So as you would have seen in the last couple of videos, we have just recently moved to New Zealand and we've just recently bought a car. So we wanted to talk a little bit about buying a car, what things you should be looking out for, what things are involved, and just general car stuff. So we just wanted to genuinely make this video just to help anyone out there who's thinking of coming to New Zealand and you're thinking of buying a car, just so you know what we did and what to expect when you get here. So when we were looking for a car to buy, we basically looked on Facebook Marketplace. I think this is where most people look for cars. These are like, you can get second-hand cars on there, and genuinely they're within a reasonable budget. It's really important to make sure that your car has a WOF, I think that's how you pronounce it, basically a WOF, which is a warrant of fitness. I will insert a picture here of what that means, but yeah, basically you have to have one of these for your car to be able to be on the road. So it's really important that when you're looking on Facebook Marketplace, this is something that is valid for however long that you're going to be using the car for. If not, it is something that you have to purchase in order to be able to use your car. The next thing that you need to look for is Rego. So Rego is really important to have as well. This is just your registration so that you basically can drive your car. So you need both of these things to be able to drive your car. So it's really important that these are both up to date, and if not, then you need to purchase this to ensure that you can drive your car.
So another thing about what Emma was talking about, you can also look for like specific Facebook pages that are for travellers and stuff, people travelling New Zealand, and they could be selling like cars and things like that on there, and if they've been doing the same thing as what you're doing. So that's something that you can check. Yeah,
they're quite handy as well, because most of them, like, you'll have the car, but it will also have like tables and stoves and all the things that you would go out your way and buy anyway. They've already done it, so they've got all of that there.
All that there sorted.
Yeah.
So, but so that's kind of what we were looking for when we were trying to get our car. You know, something big so that we could sleep in it. So that was one of the things that we wanted. Somewhere we could sleep and put all our stuff in, especially in his bag. It's massive.
It's the same weight as yours.
Yeah. So when you're buying a car, it's important to check its Rego, warrant of fitness. You can do that online. I used CarJam. Yeah, CarJam. Yeah. So you just put the license plate in, and it'll tell you if it's been stolen, if it's got Rego, if it's got warrant of fitness, any reported damages and stuff like that on it. So you can
see all the history of the car and things like that as well.
Mileage, stuff like that, when it was last reported and everything. Yeah, so it's, that's quite a good thing to use. Yeah, so I'm not a car guy at all. I don't know anything about cars, so don't take anything I say here as perfect. But these are things I've been told to do. So if you're getting a car, it's like always important to check for any damages around the outsides of it. Check your tyres for any bulges, make sure it's tread, any gouges out the tyres. Sometimes if you get like wee sort of small sparks of like rust on your wheels, that can mean that your brake pads have been worn down to the metal, and so it's important to have that checked. Check your engine, check your oil, water, all that. Make sure it's all been maintained properly. Lights, your brakes, your brake lights, all those things, all the dials and knobs and everything in the car. Make sure they're all working, all feels all right. And it's important to take it for a test drive as well, you know, because you don't want to. I've seen a post on Facebook, somebody had bought a van, and they paid a lot of money for it, and then they drove it, and after a couple of hours of driving it, they realised that it was a write-off. Like, they taken it to the garage and it was written off. So,
gosh.
Yeah. So make sure you test drive your car, and if you're not sure what to do, just take it to a garage and have them check it over. But I've always been told to ask why they're selling the car, you know, as if the person's going to turn around and tell you that the car's absolutely rubbish and they're just trying to palm it off. So like I said, I'm not a car guy at all, so if anybody's got any other things that they should think people should know, you can stick them down in the comments so that people know what they should be checking for.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're getting a diesel car as well, it looks like the fuel's cheaper in diesel, but but the person we were buying the car off of said that you need to pay something extra on top of the car.
I've just looked that up just to confirm exactly what it is, and what I can find on it is says there's no tax on diesel, but that's why that vehicles need to pay a thing called RUC instead, and basically this is changed. This is charged according to how many kilometers the vehicle travels, its type, and its weight. So you have to pay a set amount for every 1,000 kilometers that you travel. So yeah, that's basically what Leon was talking about there. So then once you've bought your car, it's important that you have insurance. So what we did was we bought the car, well actually the night before I was looking at insurance because I had the number plate. So I was able to use the number plate and look up insurances just to get an idea of how much our insurance would cost us. I looked at it the night before, but then the day we bought the car, and then I sat in the car and I just went through the website and paid for it, and then that was it, started on that day. The insurance that we used is AMI, so it was pretty reasonable price for us, and the website was easy enough to use. They give you third-party insurance, third-party fire and theft, and also full comprehensive. Is that how you say it? Comprehensive. Yeah. Insurance. So we decided to go for the third-party fire and theft. I think that one is probably the best one if you're looking at insurance and a bit unsure what insurance to go for. So then we had to get the name changed over. So obviously it was registered in the previous owner's name, so we had to go and get it changed over to our name. So how we did this was we basically went into New Zealand post office, which is something that was different to, obviously in Australia it was different, and then when we came here we were kind of expecting it to be similar to Australia, but basically you have to go to the post office and you have to fill out this form just to basically give all your details, what the car type is, the model, what you intend to use the car for, is it going to be private, business, things like that. But it's also really important that you make sure that the person that you're buying the car off of does the notice of disposal. So the guy that we were getting it off of, he didn't have like a physical sheet of paper, which I thought was a bit weird because that was what we had to do in Australia, was we got like a sheet of paper and we rip it off. But he managed to do it online, so he did it online, but because we had a UK license it doesn't work online. So Liam actually had to use the address rather than our license number, so that was something that was different. We couldn't do the other part of it online because of our UK license, because obviously when you go onto it it's expecting it to be a New Zealand license and it asks for your all the details on your New Zealand license, but a UK one is different, so it's different information. Make sure that the person that you're buying it off of does the notice of disposal. So then when we got to the post office, we went in to basically change it over. So we filled out the form as I was talking about a little bit earlier on, and we used our UK license to change the name over. However, the person at the till basically asked if we had our passports, because this is apparently better than a UK license. She said that the passport's more up to date and it has like your signature on it and other things that she basically pointed out.
More reliable, isn't it?
More reliable, yeah. So she basically pointed this out to us and said I would recommend using your passport. So that's something that's probably important. Make sure you've got your passport on you, because they'll probably ask for that rather than your actual license. So the filling out the form and putting in the registration, it cost us $9 in total. So yeah, it's not too bad. Badly priced.
Got the car, you need to fill it up with fuel, eh?
Yeah, that would help.
So one thing we noticed when we got here was fuel was so expensive. I found an app that you can use called Gaspy, so that'll give you the lowest fuel prices in your area and stuff. So that's quite good. And you can also get like 6 cents off if you go to Pack and Save and stuff when you're buying shopping. They'll give you like 6 cents off fuel and things. So it's important to try and find like all these kind of deals. I'll probably go into the problems that we had with our car.
Yeah.
So after giving you all those bits of advice and everything, we never paying any of it.
No, we should probably take our own advice.
Yeah. We had our car for a couple of days, and the speedo stopped working. He climbed up to 60 and then wouldn't come back down, and then it started climbing. I think it was because everyone was speeding.
Oh yeah, sure,
It was
yeah.
up at 180 kilometres an hour. It was ridiculous. I was terrified. We had a bit of a worry about that, thinking that it was going to cost us a fortune. You know, I had a look online, and they said that some of the parts and getting changed and stuff would be like $400 and things. Yeah, so I wasn't very happy. I decided to phone a garage, and we got it in the next morning. Garage was We Care Auto Repair. Yeah, We Care Auto Repair. We gave the guy the keys, and he jumped in, and he turned the ignition on and off and on and off. Not to start the engine, but just the lights came on and off and on and off. And the speedo started coming down and down and down. We're thinking, oh, this is not how he's going to fix this. Drive out the garage and it comes back up again.
We've got to sit and do that every single time.
He had to plug it into do the diagnostics on it. And
yeah, the garage we went to, it was really nice. Like, the guys were great. Like, they were really like easygoing and stuff, and they were always talking to you about things, you know, like, we need to try this, and if this doesn't work, then this is what we're going to do, and this is how much it will cost, and all this. So it was really good to like be reassured by them. And then once they got the computer out, they were like, oh, you can go and set up in the, you know, the waiting area or whatever. There's coffee up there. So me and Liam got to go up, and we had coffee, and then once it was ready, the guy just came in and said everything's all sorted.
Yeah, so it was only like $50 as well to get it fixed, which was much better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And ever since it's driving much smoother now, there's gear changes are better on it and everything. So
yeah, definitely.
Much
I mean,
better.
yeah, I like how you say Emma says it's driving better. We just point out that you just don't drive the car.
No, I can hardly see. Never mind drive.
Liam hates automatic cars.
I hate
Like, he hates driving, but he hates automatic cars more. So it's always me that's doing the driving. But we're trying to get you into driving, aren't we? Like,
great, yeah.
we're trying to get you to, every night we go out and we do a lap of the lap around lap around the block once it's quiet, about like 8-9 o'clock. So if you see us out driving,
Stay away, yeah.
Stay away, because Liam's on the wheel.
Just sore knuckles looking for the gear stick.
Yeah. It's pretty funny, to be fair. But okay, so the last thing that we want to talk about is self-contained vehicles. So basically, there's this thing in New Zealand that if you are a self-contained vehicle, you have to have this kind of certificate. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that, because this is something that we noticed when we were buying our car, and it's something that we have to consider. So basically, when I'm just reading this off of the internet, when researching camper van travel in New Zealand, you'll often see the phrase self-contained. Self-contained vehicles are vehicles that are not only have a toilet, water and waste facilities, but they're also certified under the self-contained containment standard NZS 54652001. And basically the advantage of this is you can basically park wherever you want and it'll be legal. But vehicles without this certification can only camp in designated places in New Zealand in order to preserve the natural environment. So basically, with that in mind, if you have a car or a camper van that's not self-contained, also known as car camping, then you'll need to be mindful of where you camp. So you can camp in places like campsites, holiday parks, even hostels. Some hostels you can camp outside there in non-self-contained vehicles. But yeah, the prices vary depending on where you stay, what facilities are there, and stuff like that. But yeah, we weren't too sure on this, so that's why we researched it, because obviously we originally got a bigger car so that we could live out of it, so we wanted to like get it up so that we could stay in it. But when we saw the self-contained vehicle, we were like, oh, like maybe we can't do it, because we would have to get our car then registered. But I think if you don't have a toilet and things, you know, if you still need to use facilities, then you don't need that certificate. You just need to make sure that you are parked or like camped up in campgrounds and places that you can actually camp. And if you've got self-contained, then that's great, because then that gives you more freedom of where you want to park. So that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that this helped you in some way if you're thinking about getting a car in New Zealand. Yeah, like we said in the video, we're not car people. We are only doing based off like our research, our experiences, what people have told us. Like, we're just passing on our knowledge that we have onto you guys, but yeah, we're not like professionals, so don't take our advice like completely accurately. We're just trying our best to give you as much information as possible. And if you guys have any other advice or any questions or anything like that, please leave it in the comments below. So yeah, that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!